Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And I guess this is the one we've been talking about. This is the one I've been kind of hinting at for a little bit. Today I'm going to go over what my project is, what I've actually been working on these past 3 months now. Um, if you were following along with the vlog at all, you know that what I've been working on is a short story collection, and that the stories are interrelated. That's basically it. So now I'm going to go a bit further. I'm going to kind of delve a bit more into what the story is about, and then I'm going to go into what I am going to be working on, I suppose, like for the month of March, and make this kind of like almost like a goals video as well. But what is the project? Well, it's a short story collection, like I said, um, and the subject basically is a small town, and basically exploring the lives of the people in the town, how they relate and how they deal with grief. Um, as the catalyst for the story is a school shooting. So it's about a small town that experiences a school shooting, and it's about the lives of the few members, is how they come together in the wake of this over the few months that follow it. So everything basically about the story deals with the aftermath of the event. As of right now, I don't have any intention of actually showing what leads up to it. Beyond just kind of hinting at it, I don't even think I'm going to show at this point even what the shooter, the killer's point of view. Quite frankly, I'm more interested in seeing how individuals deal with grief and how community comes together in the wake of the acts themselves. So it's going to be about basically the community and basically their lives following the event, both kind of in the immediate, so within the immediate, hours and days, and some months later, and even anticipating even going into the following school year, as this will take place in early summer. So right at the end of the school year, this occurs, the shooting occurs, and this will take place basically, at least some of the narrative I think will take place when the school year begins that following fall. And just again, seeing how people get back to normal. It's something I've been thinking about for a long time. I've wanted to showcase a small town setting in a different light. The story the novel I worked on before this takes place in a small town, like a very rural, dying mill town. And it's good to show desperation. It's good to show, I guess, struggle in that sense. But this, I wanted to show kind of the other side of it, seeing a town and a community coming together instead. Um, so that is going to be basically the story right there. So small community coming together in the wake of a school shooting. That's basically what it is. Uh, when I initially came up with the idea for this, I was thinking about this for quite a while. I anticipate that there'll be some sort of questions about the content and all that stuff, which again, I'm not going to go into this video here, but probably because I don't quite know yet where I'm going to draw the line on certain things. Like I said, as far as I know, the story basically will take place in the aftermath of the incident. So the aftermath of it, with no intention of showing anything that leads up to it, or the killer's point of view, but merely showing just what happens afterwards. Um, mostly, this is just because I want the focus to be on that. The other reason too is, to be frank, the intention of this story is not to be something. I don't think the story basically in what I could show, as far as like something like showing the killer's point of view or showing what leads up to it. I don't think I could do any sort of activism with the work. There's no work of fiction and again, this is part of the reason why I didn't want to necessarily delve too much into the subject of this, only because there's not a work of fiction that I can offer that is more traumatizing than the reality that this is happening. This happens in the U.S. Like this, with the regular that we see this, there's not a work of fiction that can shock your conscience more than actually seeing the accounts of it. So it would be futile, I think, in a certain way, to even show the killer or to show what leads up to it or even show motivations for the incident itself. Just because the subject of why this occurs is not even completely understood. There's a lot of conflicting reports on a lot of these things going all the way back to like the original, like Columbine, which is not the original one, but that's what people tend to associate, I guess, with the modern era. There's so much conflicting information on motivations on stuff with these stories that we haven't even figured it out, and no one seems to be interested in actually discovering it either. So this is basically more about kind of focusing on the community and the aftermath of it, and keeping the subject in the story focused on that particular aspect of it. with books, with any kind of work really of art, you basically are given kind of like a giant globe, like a giant sphere, and you can put your magnifying glass on only one aspect or maybe two aspects, or I don't think even three, on a certain subject, right? So you got to kind of pick very carefully what you want that magnifying glass to be placed on, where you want it to actually focus on, and be okay leaving the other areas unfounded, right? Undiscovered. And so for me, that's what this is going to be about, is putting that magnifying glass on community and on individuals and how they deal with grief and how they deal with um, tragedy. So that is the project. I guess that's in a very broad sense of that is the project. That's working on the short story collection there. I don't know the length of it. I don't know. I have 10 stories in my head as far as like, but that could be, I can short to 8. I can make it as much as 15, 20. I don't know yet. I don't know the time frame either in this story, or how long this project will end up taking me. Not sure. But that is the new project. That's what I've been working on. And I believe in it a lot. I have a lot of faith in this thing. I Looking at just my writing from that first short story that I just wrapped up, what, a day ago, 2 days ago, something like that. Just looking at that now, it's probably been some of my strongest writing as far as prose goes, that I've ever done. So I'm feeling confident. Certainly, it's not going to be a smooth sailing process, but I have a good feeling that this thing is going to work out well. Um, I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions and all that stuff, and I'm sure people. I anticipate I anticipate just because of the content, there's going to be a whole lot of issues with this story already. Like I anticipate already that as I go along this process and as things get closer and as I try to submit these things to certain magazines, content wise, I'm sure there's going to be a whole mess of controversy. Hope to be wrong. Hope to definitely be wrong, but I'm anticipating that going into this. So this will be, I think, is as much of a challenging project, both with writing as it will be trying to get this thing out there. Um, we'll find out. I've had struggle. For those that have been following along, I've had struggle getting my first novel published. I've been struggling with the second one. So we'll see. Struggle with getting this work out and getting it to the public has never been something that I am a stranger to. So let's hope I'm wrong. But that is the project. I guess I can answer any kind of questions anyone might have on it. But for now, like I said, that's going to be what I'm working on, and I'll give updates going forward. For the month of March, I guess just make a quick goal video. My goal, as far as the collection goes, is to edit another short story. So I did one already, got one completed. I have another first draft that I worked on some time ago that I'm reworking for this collection. I just got to get that done this month. It's going to take a bit more work, so I'm not sure if I can actually pull it off in a month, to be honest. Might need much more of an overhaul than the prior one. If it does, I guess it does. But that is the game plan going forward. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any kind of questions, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll see what I can answer. I want to keep some of the information close to the vest here. But yeah, I look forward to hearing back if any kind of questions about it. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow.